A new Demos study of misogynistic tweets sent on Twitter has discovered something fun. 50% of aggressive misogynistic tweets are from women. This is based on tracking uses of the words slut and whore, quantifying them into different categories of use, and figuring out who used them to attack women on social media. And half of those attackers were other women. These results are actually an improvement over a previous study by the cosmetics company Dove that looked at 5 million negative tweets about beauty and body image. Of those 5 million tweets, 4 million were written by women. Studies into this kind of thing are fairly new, but these initial results seem to indicate that women are just as likely, if not more likely, to tweet things that are supposedly misogynistic. To any man who has ever lived among women and seen the way they talk about each other behind closed doors, this is not really shocking. Hell, if you read women's gossip magazines, almost all of the content is delving into the personal lives of celebrity women so that frumpy housewives can scoff and look down at them. You gotta love that, don't you? Some average-looking bitch in sweatpants and a tank top who probably doesn't have 2 brain cells to rub together, reading Us Weekly and chortling to herself over some rich, sexy celebrity's minor fashion faux pas. Can you believe she wore that dress on the red carpet? What, you mean that dress that's worth more than your house and looks more beautiful than anything you own or ever will own? That dress? No, I can't fucking believe it. The audacity of that bitch. Let me ask the obvious question. If 50% of so-called misogyny on Twitter is coming from women, can it really even be called misogyny? If I go up to another guy and say, man, you're a fucking dick, am I being a misandrist? Can you really say it's the patriarchy enforcing rigid standards of beauty when 4 out of 5 antibody positivity, pro-fat shaming type of tweets come from women? There's actually good evidence to show that women are more judgmental than men in general when it comes to physical appearance. This is a chart showing how men rate women on OkCupid from most attractive to least attractive. Only 6% of women were considered least attractive, and only 6% were considered most attractive. Most call it right down the middle. Look at how even this chart is. About half of women fall into the below average category, about half of women fall into the above average category. That is exactly what you'd expect. Now, look at the chart of how women rate men. 27% of men are considered least attractive, and another 31% are still ugly as sin. In this chart, 0% of men were rated most attractive, and only 1 out of 6 men were even rated as above average. Now, this only samples from OkCupid, so maybe the men on OkCupid are generally less attractive than, say, a random sampling of men from like the general population. But even factoring that in, the disparity that exists between these two charts is surely fascinating. It's surely something to talk about. I think that the picture we're increasingly seeing here is one of women who are hyper-judgmental towards both men and women, yet who are also hypersensitive about being judged themselves, which, to me, lines up pretty nicely with what I've observed anecdotally. Personally, I think that if someone sends you a nasty tweet and you don't want to deal with their shit, the solution is blocking them. I don't think it's up to the powers that be to try to intercede on your behalf to protect you from other people who dare to have an opinion that hurts your feelings. You should protect yourself. And if you can't handle that burden, guess what? There's no law that says you have to have a Twitter account. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out.